So we'll be creating two new custom objects called location and dealers, and we already had a standard objects called account and contact. So what we'll be doing, we'll creating a location and dealers, and then we'll try to create a master detail between account and location and dealer and location. So what we, instead of making a direct relationship between account and contact, we are taking a extra object which is nothing but a junction object. Location is a junction object for account and dealers. When I say junction object, can I say for one location, for the one location record, I can choose one dealer, and I can choose one account. For the next location, I can choose the same account and I can choose a different dealer, right? So what happens in this case? We'll be creating a many-to-many relationship. One account can have a multiple dealers. One dealer can have a multiple accounts. So, so let's start working on it. How to set up? Whenever you wanted to customize or create any new object, you need to go to Setup and then Object Manager, and then choose from the Create Object. So as soon as you say create object, it's a custom object that we are as a user defining. Nothing but a Salesforce developer will be defining those. So our first object name is location, and yesterday we discussed the plural name is nothing but a tab name for an object, right? So locations, I'm saying, and object name I'm just leaving it as an object name. This is a API name. Whenever you wanted to write any SOQL queries, or if you want to refer in Visual Force pages or in Lightning components or any other programming model, if you want to define within the Salesforce, then you need to refer the API name. And description, this is a developer description which will not show up to a users. Let's say if tomorrow if I'm leaving a company, if new developer came in place, he will be knowing by having a oh, this is the object that we are using all these places. This is just a technical description that will be providing for a reference type why we created these objects. And we can say Salesforce help and support window you wanted, or you wanted to open using a Visual Force page. So for now we do not have any Visual Force pages. We will be leaving this Salesforce help and training window. If anything problem comes or any other help you needed within the object tab, then you will be using help and training window. Now yesterday I said we discussed earlier, so we can't say just a box can be a table. The table is mandatory to have at least one column. If you define one column in any box, then it will be called as a table, right? So this is the table, that column name which is the required. So instead of location name, so I'm leaving this location name as a location name. And like I told you yesterday, in a way that the object data type will always be having two data types. One is text and another is auto number. Text and auto number. One is text and auto number. Now I'm leaving this as a text because I wanted to leave my location name as a location name, so I selected. So now these are the optional features, whether it's an option, whether you wanted to do any reporting on this object. Yes, I wanted to do. Allow activities in the sense, what is activities? Let's say, am I called to this guy? I need to create a task in the sense, hey, in this location, I need to follow up by tomorrow at this time. So this is a follow-up calls that we can create. We can create a dependency task. Dependency task in the sense, I visited today. Later I realized that, hey, you don't want to come, send me the other guy. So what I'll do, I'll be having other work. I'll be assigned to one of my co-worker. Hey, instead of saying, I'll just create a report saying that, hey, this is the task for you and you need to follow up on this person at this time. So that type of activities, managerial things, collaboration thing, track field history, changing, let's say location name is now I entered as a Bangalore, and tomorrow I came back and I updated Bangalore to Hyderabad. Now what happened, field track history will keep the old value in comparison with new value. So the history of a field changes will be tracked down. Allow charter in the charter group, so we can do a charter post like in FB. What we do, we just tag a person, we just do a charts and all, right? The same way we can also do a charter post or communication, feeds on top of the record. That is called charter groups. It is a standard options provided by Salesforce. And now allow sharing bulk API. This is something we'll discuss at a development side because now it's a very technical to discuss. And deployment status, try to, whenever you are creating any object, try to keep this is deploy, and I'll tell you the reason later why in development cause a issue. So we can always change, but now this is early to discuss this topic. When we are discussing about the deployments, how to move code from one organization to another organization, like dev environment to UAT or SIT, that time we'll discuss why we need to consider these options. And allow search, by default enable it. So as soon as if I want to search anything from here, so if I enable that option, I can able to find this particular object rows or records from the global search of Salesforce. So to do get the results, we need to enable allow search. Adds and note, adds notes and attachments to the list default page layout. Notes and attachments, something like whenever you are uploading, let's say this is a location, I have an agreement with the customer. So what I'll do with that agreement copy, I'll take a scan and I'll upload under this record. To do that type of requirement or any documents related stuff, you need to have a notes and attachments in the related list. And launch new custom tab. So we are creating an object. So for an object, what we needed, we need to have a tab. So for that, we need to create a launch new. This is an option. It is not mandatory that you need to select these options. You can choose like whatever is needed. For now, we needed everything. So, and I'm saying it, save. My object got created now. And it now you can see tab setup. This is not an object setup now because I launched a new custom tab. So I got a location and choose the tab style. It's just a color code that whenever I open the tab, how the color looks. I'm just saying heart and I'm continuing as a next. So we have three different options here: default on, default off, tab hidden. What is default on? Whenever I say default on, if I open any application, this particular tab will come at a app page. I mean tab menu directly, navigation menu. Clear? But if I say default off, user can able to go to the all applications or all tab by clicking view all, or either by searching he will get this one. If I say tab hidden, user will not able to find in either of these places. He will not able to find in this location, or either he will not find in the navigation menu. So what happens, this becomes like a backend object. So the data can be savable and editable through the configurations or automated business process. At a user interactive pages, he can't able to do. So what I will be doing, I'm just saying default on, and I'm okay. Let's say I'm saying default off, and we can able to change individual profiles. As now I'm a system administrator, what I'm doing, I'm just making myself as a default on. So what happens whenever I switch the application, then it will be on. Now we need to choose. Hey, do I need to enable this object or a tab for all the applications? No, I don't want to do that. I need to do only application called April 2020. This is the application that we created yesterday's. So I'm assigning only to this application. Save. Now what I'll do, I'll just switch back my application to April 2020. Now you can see location is here. If I switch any other application, because I made a default on only to this application. If I go to goal, I can't get it. I'll not able to get. Now this is not default on, but which is default off. Default off in the sense I can able to search from vwall and I can navigate it and I can find my location. Where is that location now? Yelp. Better I'll search here. Here we have. So user can able to choose still. If user wanted to add to navigation item, he can click and he can add, say, add locations to navbar. You got it? He can able to do how the locations, whether he wanted to keep it here or not. Now I don't want to keep, I'm switching back my applications to April 2020. So we got a new object created, right? Location we got created. And what is the new object that we need to create again? Dealers, right? So again, what we need to do? We need to go to setup, object manager, and then create a new object. And it is dealers, and dealer name I'm just leaving as a text, and allow reporting, track field history, charter groups, yes. Now I'm not choosing this tab wizard now. You can see I'm not choosing and I'm just saving it. What I did, I just saved it. Now the problem comes, how to get this data. So even if I search like a dealers, you can't get it. The reason behind, we didn't created a tab yet. So what we can do, again setup, and then instead of object manager, choose home. Instead of object manager, choose home. Search for a tabs. You can see tabs. And then what we can do, we can create a custom object. We have different tabs like a web tabs, we have visual force tabs, we have lightning component tabs, we have lightning page tabs we have. But what we needed to create, we need to create a tab called custom object tabs. We need to create custom object tab. So click on new. Here you will get only those objects which don't have a object, I mean tab names. Yesterday we discussed for one object we'll be having only one tab to Gautami question. The same thing we can see. We had location object and we had different customer, but we can able to see only dealer because dealer doesn't have a tab yet. So once we created a tab, I'm just creating a square on this, and then I'm just making a default tab hidden, sorry, default off, and then I'm going back and I'm making enable only for system administrator. Next, instead of selecting, and I'm choosing only lightning up April 2020 is the application that I'm choosing for. Now you can see if I try to create a new tab, I don't find any other objects left over here because we created all the tabs for every object that we created so far, right? So I'm just cancelling out. Now what we need to do? Now let's say again I'm going to object manager. Now what we need to do, we created a two objects, location and dealer. And then what we need to create, we need to create a master detail between location and account, right? Whether location is a child and account is a master. I mean account is a child and location is a parent. Now here the limitation comes here. Might be my business requirement is something like this because being account is a standard object. In Salesforce there is a limitations. You can't create a master detail relationship to a standard object making that as a child. Let's say you can be able to create master detail between account and contact, accounts and location. Account is a parent and location is a child is possible as a master detail. But you can't make a standard object is a child. Clear? You can't create a master detail relationship within the standard objects. Now if I go to my account object, if I go to my account object, fields and relationships, new. Now I don't find an option called master detail itself. You can see, right? You can't create a master detail relationship in a standard objects. Clear to this point, and this is an important question that you need to remember as part of interviews. So there is no standard relationship between, I mean there is no master detail relationship that you can able to create in standard objects. Yeah. So now instead of creating a master detail, my design has been changed a little bit. What I am doing, instead of master detail, I'm just making it as a lookup. I'm just making it as a lookup relationship. So now I'm going back, I'm creating a lookup. Next, which object we need to choose here? We need to create a lookup to location object. We need to create a lookup to location. Location. Field name I will say location name. And then accounts always require value in order to save? No. Clear the value. So what happens? What if I delete my location record? Do I need to allow throw an error saying that there is records exist? Or I'm fine to clear the value? Now what I'm choosing, I'm just saying clear the value of this field. You can't choose the option, make this field is required. Next. I'm just making for all profiles visible. Next. And I'm adding only to a account layout. I'm adding only to a which layout? Account layout. Say. Now what happens if I go to my accounts object? If I go to my accounts object, if I try to create a new record, you'll find location name, right? So one thing got clear, we have a relationship between account and this one. So we can see whether the object relationship is fine or not. So what I'll do, I'll go to schema builder. If you get any doubt at any point, what type of relationships we have, we can go to schema builder, just clear all and search for which objects you needed. Now you need accounts and you need locations. So now you can see there is a location is being a parent and account is being a child, right? As you can see the diagram. Location to account. Accounts have a multiple lines. You can see here. You got the same. So now what happened? We created a first step. What is the second thing that we left? We need to create a relationship between location and dealers. We need to create a relation between location and dealers where dealer as a child. Where dealer as a child. As soon as if I say child, we need to create a new custom record. We need to create a new custom field at a child object always. So what I'll do, I have to go to dealers. I can search for my object dealer and I go to fields and relationships and I create a new field. Here I can choose my master detail relationship. You can see master detail relationship. Next, and now I need to select again location. Again I need to select my location object. Now location name and then child can be reparented. I am saying the child can be reparented as soon as if I create them. Next, next. All these are standard objects, you don't worry. Now what happened? We got another object got also created. Now I go to schema builder, dealer. Now you can see the same thing that we are getting. We got like a accounts and locations. Account is a lookup relationship and location and dealer is a master detail relationship. So we got it done, right? Isn't it? Now what is left? We need to check another one. Contact also we had. Now I'm just making contact. Oh my god, it's too far. Adjusting this is little difficult. So now you can see account having a relationship between location and account also have a location lookup relation to contact. So the top part is already ready, right? This is having this and account having a multiple contacts. But what is left? There is no relationship between dealer and contact. Now what we'll do, we'll create a relationship between dealer and contact. So I go to setup, object manager, I go to dealer because dealer is a child to a contact. That's what we define. Dealer is a child to contact. So I'll go to fields and relationship. I'll create a new lookup relationship. Next, which object? Contact object. Contact. Next, and I'll say primary contact. Primary contact. So I can rename the labels however I wanted. I'll say this is my primary contact as soon as if I create a dealer. Visible all. Next. Next. Now you can see. Oh, auto layout. Okay. Now we need to refresh. Refresh. There is an option. Okay. Refresh. This is just for a viewing only. What type of data model that you define? Now I think we got everything. So all we need to move this on top to bottom. We got the relationship the way we had like this, isn't it? We got it. So now if I go to my refresh, because my dealer tab is not there. So if I come to the location, I'll create a new location name saying that Bangalore. I'm just saying Bangalore. I saved it. Now I'll go to my accounts. Just pro coding skills and just edit my record. Here I can choose Bangalore. We need to create a location first and then we can search Bangalore. Now you can see if we are not finding anything, bang, you can search directly like this. So pop-up will open and then we can say now we got the records. If we have multiple, it will show the multiple details. So I'm choosing Bangalore and I'm saving it. Now if I go to my locations, if I open my Bangalore location, in the related list, I can see how many accounts has been tagged. Only one account we selected, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So the same way I'll create one more dealer record. Dealer name. What is dealer name? Lakshmi Deepak I'm saying, and location is Bangalore, and what is primary contact? I'll say new contact only. I'll create a new contact directly saying that Mr. Lavakumar, and instead of saying I'm not choosing any account here, I'm just saying it. So what happened here? There is a Lavakumar which is not related to any account here. There is a Lavakumar which is not related to any account here. Now if I go to related, now I don't have anything. If I go to locations, then I can see my dealer also now. Before it was only account, now I can see dealer, right? If I go to my accounts, if I open my pro coding skills, in the related, where is my this one? Locations, where is my location? There is no location here, right? Have we got locations here? No, right? We don't have a locations. So what we can do, we have a different view that we need to update. So you know how to create a fields now. We'll discuss a little more about custom fields again. I'll go to dealers. In the setup, I'll go to dealers. I'll create a new custom field and I'll choose a type called pick list and I'll choose a type called pick list. And then next, status, use enter values on manually, close, temp close, active, only primary, stop service. Now these are the values that I entered. Next, so I created one pick list called status and I create another pick list saying that substatus and I'll create a substatus pick list substatus. Here I'll say origin, destination, origin or destination, No serving. No sir. So I'm just making some random information there. So if I go to my dealer object again, if I edit, now I got my status right, and let's say save, edit, substatus. Now problem is that if I say close, I don't want to select anything here. I need to display only one option called no sir. When I select close, I need to display status equal to substatus equal to no sir. If I select like active, then I need to display whether it's the origin or destiny. There is no option called no sir. You got it? So based on the status field, I need to control a value in another pick list field. Based on one pick list, I need to control another pick list field. Now what we can do, we have a standard option available called new field dependencies. Within the object manager in the same object, go to the field dependencies, go to the field dependency and create a new field dependency. Here what is the controlling field? In this case, what is controlling field? Status is a controlling field, I mean parent field, and then substatus is a dependent field. Now I'll say what is controlling field? Status, and dependent field substatus. Continue. Now you can see closed, term close, and active, only primary, and stopped service are the controlling field. So for closed, what I need to give? I need to give only no serve. Highlight that field and then click include. Term close, I'll say no sir. For active, I'll say origin and destination. For only primary, I'll say origin or destination. Stopped service, I'm saying include values. So what happened? If I choose value, I'm just included this field. So when I'm saving it, I'll go back, refresh. If I click edit, now you can see this is not highlighting. Before it was highlighted. So if I choose close, I'll get only one option. See, no sir. If I choose only primary, then I can get origin. Okay, I selected origin here. I selected none. Automatically the value will be erased as soon as if you change the value of status. Clear to this point? This is called field dependency. How to create a field dependencies? First we need to know on which object we need to create a field dependency. Then navigate to object manager, search for that object, go to fields and relationships and then click field dependencies and then click field dependencies.